Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Junior.
And we're inconsistent.
And we're the Nerdy Bros. I honestly don't know what,
Our consistency is our inconsistency, and I love it.
What? No, why would you love that? No, I honestly don't know what happened because
it's a character
probably for 30 weeks in a row, if not longer, we didn't miss a single episode. And they were pretty much all going out at the exact same time.
But now it's become our podcast's personality trait.
No. Again, I don't understand why you're like, this is not cool. It's not. It's not fun. It's not
we still
funny.
put out the
It's none of that
content,
shit.
And we love everyone that always comes back for us.
Fuck all of that. We need to be consistent, and we need to be right on time.
I've been home literally almost every single day of my weekends.
So then just come down and just tell me. Instead, you come down
dude,
and you look at me, and then you're like, oh,
I say it, and you're just as much of a lazy POS as I've been. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the show.
We'll do better. Although Tito
we want to do better.
But we'll do better.
We want to do better. We do. I do. Junior does. But for this week's episode, guys, we're going to kind of jump right into the hot take to kind of start things off. And this is the part of the episode where we ask Junior about something new up and upcoming and get his hot take and hot opinion on it. And Junior, actually, someone reached out to us and was just like, you guys haven't talked about this yet. And it's like, we try not to throw 3, 4, 5 hot takes at you. We just want to give you one thing. And of course, there's new stuff dropping all the time. However, of course, we want to talk about it. And Junior, the newest trailer of Spiderman came out not too long ago. And what do you think about that?
I mean, the newest, it's the first trailer.
Is it the first one?
Yeah, there was no trailer.
So isn't it still technically the newest?
Yeah, it's also the first.
Yes.
It's also the oldest.
Yes.
I mean, what do you want me to say? It looked awesome.
What was your favorite part?
The Green Goblin bomb rolling out on the road.
Yes, and the laugh that followed it.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched any of the videos. There's been people that have been dissecting it frame by frame, because there's people saying that they got, and maybe they did, and again, I only saw a Green Goblin reference, and then obviously Doc Ock. But people are like, "Oh, there was a reference to Electro. There was a reference to, I mean, the Vulture is already a villain, so he can totally come back. If somehow they pull people from other, universes or whatever, then they might be able to pull Mysterio back."
So right now, essentially,
plus there was a Scorpion.
Yeah, it's the potential for a bunch of different villains, because if we remember from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock dies. The only villain who didn't die in that trilogy was Sandman, and rightfully so, because he wasn't that much of a bad guy. But everyone else, dead. One of the best ones is Norman Osborn.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
No, tell me why. This is so messed up. Tell me why, if we were God forbid, and this is horrible, but this is just a thought I've had in my horrible, dark, nerdy brain. I literally thought of if let's say we were just at a grocery store and somehow there was a shootout and I got shot, in my head I would want to fall to my knees and look at you and just be like, "Peter, don't tell Harry," and then just fall over and die. I mean, if I'm gonna go out, let me just get one final quote in before I go. But
I mean, I've often thought about that, what my final words would be. Is it gonna be something sincere, or is it gonna be something "I'm your Huckleberry," and then just die? That was his last words.
That just reminds me of that anime, Angel Beats, where the guy gets beat up and the other dude runs up to him. He's like, "Hey, are you okay?" He's like, "Wow, you got here pretty fast. What are you, gay?" This is no time to be telling jokes. I feel like I would hope that if in my darkest final moments I could just reach into my bag of funny quotes and just say something. But yeah, so do you think it'll be Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I mean, because we did get Doc Ock.
We got the original Doc Ock. So like, yeah, the thing is, I've seen the trailer twice, but like, yeah, I haven't like dissected it or anything like that. So like, if people are like, yeah, that's a reference to Electro, like that's a reference to this and this and this, and it's like, oh, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there was reflections in Peter's eyes at one point that you're like, oh, you didn't see that or whatever. But like, yeah, Mysterio also dies. So if he comes back somehow, that would be through like a multiverse.
Did you see that certain people already feel like they know the entirety of the plot?
Well, I feel that people think that it's a Sinister Six movie.
No. So like that's what I think everyone was always hoping for, and it could potentially still be that. I feel like they might have combined different elements from just obviously they take from the comic books to make what they do now, especially with the MCU. I think it'd be cool
if they just brought in Madam Web.
That would be pretty sweet. What they're saying though is just because like Doctor Strange is involved, I think it's like a 3-part comic series of Spider-Man where essentially he kind of resets his timeline because I had researched it and I was looking into it, but I can't remember what the name of the comic series is. If you guys know it, please yell at me. But essentially, Aunt May gets like shot and killed, and then he goes to Doctor Strange trying to look for a way to bring her back, and he's like more or less unable to do it, and then he ends up basically making a deal with Mephisto, and Mephisto tells him like, I can make it so she doesn't get killed, but what I want in return is your marriage to Mary Jane Watson.
Is it the One More Day?
Yeah. So Peter, like, he goes and talks to MJ about it, and then they discuss. Eventually, it ends up happening though. So everyone just thinks this is supposed to be some kind of way to like reset a Spider-Man's timeline, or I don't know. I feel like they probably took from that story to more or less get where they're at, because like with the.
Well, it sounds like it. Well, from what I'm reading, just like right here, it says that the story concludes the fallout of Spider-Man's actions during the 2007 Civil War crossover. So that's obviously already happened.
Yeah. But they're talking about the 2007 comic book Civil War.
Obviously.
Not
I know
like,
that the Civil War didn't come out in 2007. I fucking know that.
So, but that's what I'm saying though. So, like, I think they're taking elements from those comics, but I think they're also like switching it up. I don't think it's. I don't think it's going to exactly be like that, because number one, One More Day deals with Aunt May dying, and that's not what's going on. Spider-Man is trying to get people to forget that he's Spider-Man.
It looks like you also get from the cover of the comic, it's Peter Parker in the Venom suit.
Yeah, because I feel like he might run into other versions of himself. I don't know. I haven't read the series. I think it would be a very cool.
It's only 4 comics.
So it's a 4-part series. So yeah. I would love to read it. I mean, maybe next time we go to a comic book shop, we can ask if they have it. But that's what a lot of people are speculating it's going to be about. But yeah, I mean, we already see Doc Ock. We got Green Goblin laughing the bomb. If there was a reference to Electro, that's already 3 villains, none of which were from
Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland's a Spider-Man. So we'll see what happens. And then again, the trailer that we got didn't show Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. So there's always, that to see what happens there.
But I feel like that was something like, unless they just straight up pull that out from under the carpet and they just go, that's not happening. Like, I feel like everybody's already known that they were going to be in the movie. Like, I feel like everybody's already been talking about how Andrew Garfield and
I thought that was always just like speculation, like people always making jokes, like because we didn't have like confirmation.
No. There wasn't like there wasn't a confirmation from either
Like now
actor.
there is. Like if you look it up on IMDb, you can see that they're like sanctioned for it, right?
I don't know. I didn't look it up in
Oh,
IMDb.
okay. I thought you had.
No, but I'm saying is like, I just feel that like, yes, it's been like speculation, but I also think that like it's going to happen. Like I never thought that it was speculation, especially with like the because the thing is, like, if it was speculation, then why is all the other stuff that they're like talking about like happening? Like, you're gonna bring the villains in, but you're not gonna bring like the other Spider-Man in.
I think so, but the thing with that to me is
Well, here I'm on the IMDb right now, and it's got Norman Osborn, it's got Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah. So I think normally when you have kind of like crossover Spider-Man, like it's always different versions of like themselves. Like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland have all basically kind of played the same role of Spider-Man. They're not like Spider-Man Noir or Spider-Man 2099 or Punk Spider-Man. Any of these, it's always just like same old story. So that's what I'm just saying. Like this would be the first time that you would just kind of really see that when it comes to like their crossovers and stuff.
Plus, J. Jonah Jameson, has he always been the J. Jonah Jameson in Tom Holland's Spider-Man?
I don't think he was mentioned.
He wasn't. I don't think. Yeah,
Because again, like Spider-Man,
this is high school Spider-Man.
yeah, Spider-Man starts in high school. Tobey Maguire more or less like they just kind of they glossed over real quick, and they didn't really do Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
Yeah,
in
it was
high
just
school.
like it was just like senior year year Peter Parker, and now he's Spider-Man.
Uncle Ben dies, and then you get the graduation, and then he becomes Spider-Man and starts working for the Daily Bugle. So, and then with the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, I don't think he ever left high school. I'm pretty sure he was still in high school even in the second one, right? Or had he graduated?
I don't remember.
Because I definitely remember. No. I think he was in high school, yeah, the whole time. And now so far, Tom Holland still is in high school. So, yeah. And in the new one, it was J. Jonah Jameson was running a podcast, right? Or like a vlog series or whatever.
Well, he was just on he just ended up coming over it's kind of like when you're playing the Spider-Man game and you can just hear him like over loudspeakers all over the city. Like he's just talking. And that's like what was happening.
He's the best. I love him as J. Jonah Jameson.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah. Did you hear that Tom Holland's and Dyer are dating?
Yes.
Yay. I don't know.
Who cares?
I thought that was kind of cool. Tom Holland's been doing a lot of I don't know. More than is the fact that I love him as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. He's also done some voice acting now. I don't know. Definitely made it quick.
He's done other movies too.
Yeah, to one of my favorite actors now. Yeah, especially that one Southern one you had me watch that one time. That one was. Oh no, you didn't have me watch it. You told me about it, and then I just watched it.
Yeah,
that one was really cool too.
Well, I've seen In the Heart of the Sea. Have you seen that?
No, that sounds like a song.
It's basically no. It's basically Moby Dick.
Moby what?
But it's Thor.
It's basically Moby Dick, but it's Thor.
No, you idiot. It's Thor.
Well, it hurts.
No, Tito.
It's Chris Hemsworth?
Yes.
Oh.
It's Chris Hemsworth and Tom Holland.
Oh, is Chris Hemsworth the whale?
It's not a cartoon, you fuck.
Oh.
It's a fucking live action movie.
Oh, okay. But they're going after some giant beast.
Yeah, they're whalers.
Oh.
And Tom Holland's on the ship.
Isn't that illegal?
Not in fucking the time period that fucking Moby Dick is set in.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what time period it was set in. I was about to say, I think that's illegal.
Now, not like the 1800s. I don't give a shit about the animals back then.
That is true.
We were barely exploring the ocean at that point. We're like, yeah, there's a shitload of them. Just keep killing them.
We made it off topic. Fantastic. We went from Spider-Man to whaling. And you guys didn't think it was possible.
No. But Tom Holland's in that. No, there's that other movie that he just did with Daisy Ridley that I haven't seen yet.
Who's Daisy Ridley?
Ray. You idiot.
Ray's Bay.
You really don't know anything.
I don't.
It's called Chaos Walking.
I haven't heard of that.
What?
I don't know. I haven't heard of it. It's just a fact.
There was trailers for it.
On what?
On what? On, I don't know. The internet?
The internet?
Fucking everything. He's about to do Uncharted.
Yeah. Heard about
technically,
that.
he already did it. It's in post-production, which means it's already filmed.
Yeah. And I think we did talk about that. And I still, again, as I've just professed my love for Tom Holland, I still feel like he's such a young actor to play Nathan Drake. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm only expecting good things. I don't know. I think I'm more like, if we're talking about a Naughty Dog.
The Devil All the Time is the movie you're talking about.
If we're talking about a Naughty Dog Productions, I can't wait for that Last of Us series to come out. That's what I'm hopeful for.
The one with Daisy Ridley is that one where you saw it. You saw the clip. It was on freaking on TikTok where Tom Holland was getting like punched in the face by Nick Jonas.
Oh,
that's the same movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, for somebody who's claiming that Tom Holland is not one of their favorite actors, you'd feel like you'd fucking seek out what movies he's been in.
It's more of just like what I've seen him in. I've loved
2 movies.
Well, no, then he was also in Onward. I said he's been doing some voice acting that I've liked too.
That wasn't the only voice movie he did.
Yeah, he did another one, but I'm blanking on what it is, and I'm pretty sure I've also
Spies in Disguise.
Yeah.
God, you suck. Oh, the Mr. Tom Holland fucking, it's my fucking favorite actor.
I didn't shit. I said he's coming up as like one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
I like
you don't know
like,
shit. You know what you are? A fucking poser.
No, not at all. I didn't claim to know his
poser.
life story and everything.
Poser.
No.
All right. Anyway. So we're just gonna jump into this after we've already been talking for, I don't know, like 15 minutes or some shit.
It's almost been 20.
All right. So, a while ago, I mean, basically like a year ago now,
it was like
that was like our second and third episodes that we did.
No, that's not true. It was like definitely either the third or fourth. Because first we were doing like piece by piece, weren't we? We wanted to do like one thing at a time.
First we were doing piece by piece.
No, remember the very first podcast we ever did was like what was our favorite movies, and then we wanted to do like an episode for each topic.
Our first episode is called Intro to the Nerdy Bros. Our second one's called Marvel Part 1, and our third one is Marvel Part 2.
So we didn't do what we originally planned out to do.
So what I'm saying is it was the second and third one, which is what I said, before you decided to say I was wrong. But you were wrong, as per usual. Anyway, so back then we did these Marvel brackets. So Tito and I thought that it would be cool to do a Disney one, but we're doing Disney versus Pixar. I'm sure some of you have seen brackets similar to this on the internet, or maybe heard other people even talk about this before, but we decided to do every single Pixar movie, which is 24 of them to date. So it's 24 versus 24. So I don't know if we'll get through all of it. We might do this the same way that we did the Marvel one. We'll just do one bracket or one side of the bracket and then do the other half on next week's episode.
Depends on how the conversation goes, guys.
So what side do you want to start on? Do you want to start on Pixar or do you want to start on Disney? Like the regular Disney animated?
I don't know. Flip a coin.
Yeah, didn't bring one.
Okay. Well, as per usual.
As per usual.
As per usual, you just
we
never
always,
have a coin
we always
on you.
carry coins.
Yeah.
I always carry coins on me.
No.
Spins the wheel. Okay.
Spinza? I don't know. How will we pick?
I'm about to spin the wheel.
Spins the wheel.
That's not what I want. Wheel of names.
If I shatter my phone more when I throw it up. Okay, never mind. We got it.
If I shatter my phone. It's already like that.
It's already pretty broken.
Disney.
Got the Spiderman upgrade.
Pixar. Got the Spider-Man upgrade.
We've been calling it that since high school.
All right, ready?
No.
3,
Yes.
2, 1, go. Disney.
We're going Disney. Well, I mean, it's all Disney.
Yeah, but we're going
This
with
is
the,
just Disney.
we're going with the Disney
Also,
side.
through all of our research, I found out that it's not just Disney and like DreamWorks that makes kids movies. There's a bunch of other companies that also make them.
All right. So we'll go down the list so we can give you all the names of everything. So
but just on the Disney side,
Yes.
right? Okay.
we got Peter Pan. We
Peter
got
Pan.
Emperor's New Groove.
Oh yeah.
Treasure Planet. Pocahontas. Hunchback. Lion King. Goofy Movie. Lilo and Stitch. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Frozen. Big Hero 6. Aladdin. Beauty and the Beast. Zootopia. Hercules. Raya and the Last Dragon. Tarzan. Sleeping Beauty. Robin Hood. Tangled. Moana. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Mulan. And The Sword and the Stone. So, certain ones will just automatically be getting a buy, like Peter Pan is.
Yeah, we gave what was it? It was like the originals kind of got like,
Basically the older ones.
Yeah, the older ones,
not the originals.
They're
all original movies.
Well, but they were among the first.
All the older ones are the ones that got the buys. We ended up getting most of these movies from like the 90s forward because I mean, we've seen pretty much all of them, but
well, yeah, but also Pixar's had a lot more newer movies than I think in like the past.
Well, we already talked about this.
Yeah,
Pixar didn't start till 95.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but we still put older Disney movies in there because there's some that are just super classic.
Of course.
All right, so Peter Pan gets the buy automatically. So the first matchup here is The Emperor's New Groove versus Treasure Planet.
Immediately, I'm at a crossroads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I want to be like Emperor's New Groove, but then Treasure Planet is awesome.
Treasure Planet is so good. What was it? The other day I was riding in the car with Brian, and I think we played the song from Treasure Planet, and so because I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or just I always was just like, oh yeah, that Treasure Planet song, that's just one of the Google Dolls, like that's just one of their like hit songs or whatever, and that's not true at all. It's just the lead singer of the Goo Goo Dolls did that song specifically for Treasure Planet.
Yeah,
which is why I could never find it on an album back when that song first came out. But Brian was like, why didn't they make a sequel to Treasure Planet? And I'm like, first of all, it's Treasure Island in space. That's why it didn't get a sequel, because there's not supposed to be a sequel.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did a fantastic job of number one.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Treasure Island into a space movie / animating it is awesome.
I mean, so like, I wouldn't be able to. I couldn't tell you because I haven't seen Treasure Planet in a minute, and I definitely just saw like Emperor's New Groove probably like within the last year. So, like, I couldn't tell you, like, what actors... I mean, I could look it up, but, like, I couldn't tell you, like, what actors are, voice which characters. But, like, in Emperor's New Groove, we know, like, David Spade, what's his name? Like, Peter... No, that's not his name.
The guy that plays Pacha?
No, the guy that voices Kronk.
Oh.
I can't remember his last name's like Wharton, something like that.
Oh, right.
yeah.
The poison for Cusco.
And then
made for Cusco's poison.
Yeah, Pacha's voiced by pretty sure Pacha's voiced by the same guy that voices
isn't it
Sully?
Roseanne's husband?
Yeah, Sully. I'm blanking on his name right now.
I just don't know it.
They make fun of him in Family Guy, where they're like sitting down at the dinner table and he's the one eating everything, and nobody else is allowed to eat.
Oh, and his entire family's like super skinny, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, we don't know his name, but yes, I know who you're talking about. Who played Yzma?
The old lady from Holes.
Oh, Madame Zeroni?
Yes.
To the secret lair, Crunk.
Yeah.
Wrong lever.
Yeah.
Why do we even have that lever? Yes, I don't know. Like, as the Emperor's New Groove is just...
Well, let's compare this.
Gold.
All right, yeah. One's comedy, one's not, really. Like, there's funny parts in Treasure Planet, but it's not a comedy.
No, yeah, it's
like,
definitely way more serious.
Also,
can I just say that, like, the silver in Treasure Planet is such a huge threat as a cyborg, but when I think of like Long John Silver from Treasure Planet and he's missing a leg, he doesn't even have a peg leg. He uses that like crutch. How is anybody afraid of him? Like, get rid of his crutch and you won the fight.
John Goodman is the Emperor's New Groove. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They each have like one distinct song. It's the song sung by the lead singer of the Goo Goo Dolls in Treasure Planet, and then in the Emperor's New Groove, it's that song at the very beginning of the song.
Theme song guy. He's the hippest.
You know what? I thought this, and I didn't want to say it, and I was right. Jim Hawkins is voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I thought that, and I was like, I don't want to say it because I'm not sure. But yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I wish there was like just some criteria that we could easily just.
Oh, Martin Short voices Ben, the robot.
Oh, yeah. I could totally see it now too.
The cyborg.
Bones, Billy Bones. Also, just the map is freaking awesome.
Yes. All right, Treasure Planet. Let's go
okay. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Treasure Planet.
Like, I love Emperor's New Groove, and again,
I dressed up as an amazing Cusco. It's been my like ultimate costume I've ever done up to date. But I'll go with I'm gonna stick with Treasure Planet.
All right, the next one is Pocahontas and the Hunchback. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Hunchback.
They both have amazing songs. The Hunchback songs definitely like,
but the Hunchback songs slap way more.
Yeah. I think I don't think it was because first of all, Pocahontas is based on like
real events.
Real events, yeah. I think the Hunchback is just another one of those probably tales or legends that got turned into a Disney movie.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah. Tales old as time.
Song as old as rhyme.
So yeah,
that's
Hunchback.
a different movie. All right. Goofy movie gets the next bye. And the next matchup is Lilo and Stitch and Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I feel like I already know who wins it out for you.
Well, that's only because I told you that I didn't really like the Ralph movies.
Yeah, the Ralph movies. But, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed them. But I also thoroughly enjoy good old-fashioned Lilo and Stitch.
They both have, like, good, like, belonging. Like, this is kind of a good matchup because, like, Lilo and Stitch is, like, you know, a family about Ohana, about family. And it's like, you know, nobody gets left behind. And, Stitch not belonging, and then he finally belongs
And
somewhere.
that's what basically happens in Ralph Breaks the
Yeah,
Internet.
same
is
thing.
that Vanellope wants to stay in the like cooler racing destruction game and basically leave Ralph in the arcade, and he ends up. I actually really like what they do there. How like when they explain the virus, he's just like, yeah, they find. I think he might even call it. Yeah, they find like an insecurity in the code, and then just multiply it and like destroy the program from the inside. And you see Ralph being super insecure about the fact that Vanellope's gonna leave, and then they just multiply off of that. Like I thought that was like a really cool way to do that.
But it's like Vanellope is the anomaly that the game is searching for to destroy Ray because she doesn't belong in that game.
No. That's your. They no.
In the first one, she's the glitch, but it turns out that she's actually the princess.
Yeah. But no, it's not searching for her because Ralph would never release a virus that's meant to kill Vanellope. The virus is just meant to find like a tiny little like bug or insecurity in whatever that like Rampage racing game was, and then like make it implode on itself, but not affect Vanellope. Well, at least not physically. But yeah, and then in Lilo and Stitch, it still gets me like every time when like just puts me in the feels when Gantu captures both of them and Stitch is somehow able to like weasel his way out of that like container that they're in, and like he's like reaching out to Lilo and she's like, "Don't leave me, okay?" And Stitch is just like, "Okay." And then he does all that stuff to like get her back. And then even when he like drives a tanker of gas into a volcano, and Gantu comes close and he's like, "Stupid head," and then just like claws the metal open and gas shoots off, and then rockets himself. You know what? No, I'm going Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say like again, they both kind of give you that like family vibe or whatever, but Lilo and Stitch is about Lilo and Stitch like finding they
cute and fluffy.
They're both lost and they find each other.
Yeah, I like their dynamic better. But the second one was super subpar, but I did kind of like the show that it like gave birth to.
Yeah. All right. The next matchup here is Frozen versus Big Hero 6.
Oh no.
Yeah, some of these are.
I was about to say like if I was a child, maybe it would be easier, but then at the same time, no, I don't know. I feel like it all turns
it
like
kind of like depends.
If you liked a musical Disney movie, I feel like you would go for Frozen. But if you liked like action and fun, like you're
like
going
superhero
Big
stuff,
Hero, dude. Big Hero 6 is so good.
I honestly though, like yes, Frozen's like you said, it's like we're comparing a musical and an action Disney movie, and like. Frozen
with two,
songs
like dumb
are awesome.
boys that just like feed off of action.
And I was gonna say like Frozen's got that like powerful, that like I can fucking do this shit and stuff. But Big Hero 6 has that fucking gut wrenching like ending that you think
they like both. Like I honestly, no lie, I feel like Big Hero 6 has a bigger like feels and like heart punch moment than Frozen does. Like you like when you look back on like children's movies, basically like as an adult, you kind of tend to like, wow, these are some like either really dark undertones or this message is like so deep or whatever. And there's stuff that I feel like, Frozen I think was a little more centered towards kids, like especially with a character kind of like Olaf. And like Sven and the reindeer, but which I can't.
Sven is the reindeer.
Oh, Sven is the reindeer. Yeah. Kristoff's the other guy. Yeah, with Sven and Kristoff. But you get because first of all,
call yourself a Disney fan.
The main character in Big Hero 6, it's just like
Hero.
Hero makes all of these other
those
classmates that he has into heroes, but it's just like, you're kind of making a hero, and then when he finds out who's responsible for his brother's death,
so I was gonna say
immediately turns to like, I'm about to murder this guy, And I feel like sometimes some people kind of gloss over like that, especially like as a kid, you probably don't really think of it. You're like, oh, he's gonna get the bad guy, but like removing Baymax's chip, that
Of healing, yeah.
healing, and just leaving like all of
The combat
yeah,
one.
the combat stuff. It's such a powerful move of just like, no, you did, and he's only supposed to be what, like 13 or 14.
Yeah, and he's like already in college.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We should have said this from the jump, but we haven't totally done it, but I think we're about to do it right now. Like, spoiler alert for all of these movies if you haven't seen them. But so I'm gonna say this.
You haven't seen them. What are you doing?
If I'm gonna say this, okay, if you I'm just doing comparisons. Frozen, they lose their parents, right? Big Hero 6, Hero loses his brother.
Well, their parents are already dead. Don't they live with their aunt? Or do they live with...
No. They live with their aunt.
Yeah, so they're... number one, parents already dead. Now loses... That's like if you would have seen...
Yeah, but like Elsa thinks...
dies.
Well, Elsa thinks that she kills Anna at the end of the movie. But then Anna... she unfreezes Anna's heart. Right?
Yeah.
So, at the end of Big Hero 6, Baymax sacrifices himself to save Hero. But it turns out that in the fist that he was clenching, that he shot back, was the chip.
Yeah, which had
so
like,
he's
all his
able to
memories
put
and stuff,
so he's able to put the chip back into a new Baymax, and it's like Baymax never died.
Also, oh my gosh! First of all, both of these movies were worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3, and Big Hero 6 is San Francisco as a world in that was freaking, in my opinion, better than the Frozen world.
Oh yeah. Well, duh. Yeah. It was like a city, and then running around like frozen mountains. I'm gonna give it to 6. I'm gonna give it to Big Hero 6.
Yeah, Big Hero 6.
Yeah, because like it also has like one of my favorite bands that did a song for it.
Oh yeah, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah. The next one that gets the bye is Aladdin. And then the next one after that gets the bye is Beauty and the Beast. The next matchup is Zootopia versus Hercules.
Ooh, this is like our first new school versus old school, right?
No, Lilo and Stitch and Ralph are.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Have a pretty big
gap. Yeah. I feel like this is the most like prominent one though, because I still kind of feel like Lilo and Stitch was newer than like if we're talking like 90s, 80s, and older.
So some of these, like I'm like these are gonna be hard, and then like as I really start to think about it, I'm like, are they though? I like Zootopia.
I love Zootopia.
Zootopia is awesome. Also, I love Jason Bateman, and that's hilarious that he plays Nick the Fox.
I really hope that gets a sequel. I feel like it'd be
Zootopia.
I feel like
get a sequel.
Like what they originally did. Like first of all, it was awesome what they did in general, and I love the like the if you've seen Breaking Bad, here are some jokes for you in it with the whole plot that's going on. And I thought it was, first of all, a phenomenal plot for like a kids movie basically. But I would love to see it transform into a buddy cop movie sequel, which I mean it kind of was a little bit, but like to just kind of see it like dive deeper into both, because
yes, at the end he becomes a cop.
Yeah, not only because become a cop, but originally they're not respecting the bunny whose name I'm blanking on right now.
Judy Hopps.
Yeah, Judy Hopps. Do you remember her actor's name? I just remember her from Once Upon a Time as Snow White. Which do you ever feel like we should go back and finish that show?
Jennifer Goodwin?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was her.
So beautiful.
Yeah, Jennifer Goodwin. She married the Prince Charming in that show, and they have a kid together.
Didn't they have?
So Snow White and Prince Charming married each other.
Weren't they already together before the show though, or was it during the show?
No, it was like during.
The like that was her actual pregnancy during the show. I'm pretty sure. Though,
yeah,
right? Yeah. But anyways, yeah, she plays Judy Hopps. Yeah, Jason Bateman. But I mean, like they don't respect her as a cop because they just make her basically the meter maid, and then she uncovers like this whole plot. So it would be cool to see. Now that they're just kind of respecting smaller animals as cops, it'd be awesome to see Judy and the fox.
Nick.
Nick. Just to see what other thing that they could come up with, and like what they do as basically, I don't know, cops, or who knows, maybe they get a promotion. They're detectives now.
Yeah, I mean they were all basically doing detective work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see a sequel. Yeah, I would love to see a sequel to Zootopia. But Hercules.
But yeah, okay, so yeah. It's so.
Well, also Hercules is also like a musical. Like Zootopia had the the Shakira song.
Try everything. Yo,
Yeah.
and Shakira was a gazelle?
Yeah, but like, well,
Chef's kiss.
it wasn't like Shakira, right? I don't remember what the name of the gazelle was because she had like her own name.
Yeah.
Her character.
They didn't just
It
call
wasn't
her
like
Shakira.
Shakira's a gazelle. But Hercules has a bunch of fucking bangers for songs and the story.
Not only that, it's James Wood as Hades,
Yeah.
and he plays it so well.
Just the story, because obviously we know like there's like they could have done like Hercules and the 12 labors and you did get to see that because like when he's like
When he's going through with all
going
of them,
through the hero, he does like the 12 labors. There's like some of them that you see.
I saw someone, they posted a TikTok of if they ever made a live action Hercules, they like casted all of the sirens, and I was like, dude, this would be amazing. But my favorite one is like the funny, quirky siren they put as Lizzo, and I was just like, that would be hilarious. But it's definitely one of my especially from the 90s, definitely one of my like top
I'm just
5
saying like
favorite
the
movies,
story.
yeah.
The story is amazing. Also, I've said this once, and I watched a TikTok recently, and it was like 2 big mistakes in like Disney movies, and one of them was from Hercules. It's like, how come when Hercules at the end of the movie goes to Hades, and he's like, I'm getting Meg back, and he sticks his hands in the pool when he kneels down and sees Meg's soul float by, and his hands get like old, and like he's like, oh, you can't do that, or whatever. And when he jumps to go get her, how come all of a sudden he's on a fucking cliff?
Oh yeah. It is very, very awkward.
Like that doesn't make any fucking sense. How did he stick his hands in there?
He reached in quick, and then you had to
Yeah,
dive.
and then had to dive like 20 feet. And then when he comes out, he's just floating.
My worst enemy's son, trapped forever in a river of song. Going once, is there
eternal
downside to
death.
this? All right. You get her out. She goes. You stay. That movie's again awesome. Do you know
the sacrifice that he does, and he gets his power? Or she's
Danny DeVito as Phil too.
Yeah.
How can we can't just gloss over that?
Yeah.
Oh,
whoa,
man.
with my hair out. Yeah, I said as much as I love Zootopia, I just want to give it to Hercules.
Yeah, just. Oh my, yeah. I need to watch Hercules again now. Like I just want to.
All right, the next one. This is going to be a hard one too. Raya and the Last Dragon versus Tarzan. Dude, Raya is easily one of the best Disney movies that has been put out in a that movie tops some of these movies that Disney's put out in like the last decade.
It's so good. God, I love Aquafina.
And the combat. Yeah, Aquafina's
that
hilarious.
Sword is so cool.
Yes.
Since when did she become a Soul Reaper and get Renji Zanpakuto?
Yeah. Just like the combat in the movie was really cool. Tuk Tuk was a really cool character. Aquafina as
her giant pill bug armadillo.
Yes, yeah. Why am I blanking? I want to say Sifu, and I know it's not that. What the hell is her name? Sisu.
Oh, Sisu. I was about to say, wait, isn't it? I was like, wait, it's not Sifu, but why does that sound exactly like what it's supposed
Aquafina
to?
Sisu. That was awesome. I mean, just the story in general about all the countries like unifying under one. The dad's like sacrifice at the beginning of the movie, I was like, holy shit. But yeah. and Sisu sacrificing herself. Or I guess she doesn't sacrifice herself. She just Rhea like attacks and the bolt gets fired off and
Yeah, that was crazy.
yeah.
Well, Rhea doesn't like. Well, freaking
Like she doesn't trust her.
Stupid character pulls out a crossbow, asking for everything.
Yeah. And Rhea like Sisu's like trust me, I can get to her, and Rhea's like no, I don't. It's not that I don't trust you, it's that I don't trust her, and like fucking attacks and all that shit. Yeah, I don't know. That movie was awesome.
Well, also that I mean I can't remember who like the more or less her rival what the name was, but it's also her mother being stupid and not because like she comes in and just like dude, it's Sisu, like we should get together, and they're like no, they'll blame us, and they're like yeah, they should because you did it. It was you.
Yeah. Okay, but Tarzan.
Okay, but
we just watched Tarzan.
We did.
And like recently again, because that movie's amazing. I mean, all the songs in that movie. That Tarzan probably has the best soundtrack, period, of any Disney movie.
I mean, it's hard to compete with Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Very, very hard.
So those songs are amazing. The movie is amazing. Yeah, I really like the story, and it's also another one of like, hey, fucking sucks when Kerchak finally accepts Tarzan, and he just like dies. He's just like, you were always my son, and it's just like, fuck.
Is that what he says? I thought he just calls him son.
Yeah, but it's like,
yeah.
He finally got Tarzan finally got the approval that he was looking for the whole time. Plus the fight with Sabor is literally the chills every fucking time.
Yo,
dude.
and like
every time.
I hate how like Kerchak was literally probably about to be like, hell yeah, and like probably accept him there right after that. Then they hear Clayton's gunshot, and they like miss that bonding moment that they're about to have, which is towards the beginning of the movie after the Sabor fight. But
yeah, that fucking fight with Tarzan and Sabor is one of the best fights. Yeah.
Also, like very early on, like
also Clayton hangs himself.
Yeah.
That is insane. Yeah. Definitely like, didn't see that the first time we saw it.
Just because you didn't see Tarzan, stab Sabor a bunch of times, you're just like, yo, he definitely did though. And then Clayton hanging himself, and then the lightning strike. The lightning strikes, and you get to see the
shadow.
Also, but like we watched it again, and I was just like, I don't know who would do that. I get that he was trying to get out of vines, but he's literally holding onto a vine here, and then takes the machete and cuts it. Like, what are you doing? Like, you like literally looked at it, and you're like, I've got it, and then cut that. Like, it would have been, I don't know. I feel like that could have been a little bit cleaner. Where
I don't know.
Maybe as he's cutting the other vines, that one's ripping because it's taking all of his weight now. I feel like would have been better than Clayton just going ha ha and cutting his own. Like,
it was just like he was crazed,
sealing his death.
He was crazed. Yeah,
and the fact that Tarzan's basically trying to like help him at the end because he keeps going like Clayton,
no, yeah. I was gonna say like I love that like the heroes that are like, dude, I'm fighting for my life, but at the same time, like,
I'm not trying to kill you.
I'm not trying to kill you. Yeah. This one's hard. Like, Tarzan is amazing, but Ray is also amazing.
And this is a big new school versus old school. Especially
this is
with
like
this being
Tarzan
like,
99 and Raya 2020. And Rhea was one that was under the radar. Remember, you were like, you didn't even know that this movie existed until like I showed you the trailer, even though the trailer had already been out, and it was like a week before the movie was like gonna be out for us to like rent on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
so and then you're like, what is this?
I don't know. Number one, I don't think I was scrolling through Disney Plus that much, or really. Sometimes I don't dive into trailers. Most of the time, the only time I'm really diving into trailers is like right after I know like Gamescom happened or E3 is going on, and I'm just binging and consuming
those
all
are
of these
video
video
game
game trailers.
trailers.
Well, those are the trailers that I usually tend to. I feel like more often than
The
not,
trailers were
you're-
originally made for movies.
Yeah, but you're the one who'll usually be like, dude, did you see this trailer? And then you'll either send me a link or I'll have to look it up. But
well,
yeah.
sometimes I feel like you're on IMDb because
I'm
I
not.
go because
I'm
I go,
not.
dude, Tito, did you see this trailer? You're like, yeah, I already saw it.
No,
and then I'm like,
not.
what the fuck?
And someone either had already mentioned it to me, or I mean, sometimes sometimes the ads on YouTube are actually cool.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah. And I end up
movie
watching the
trailers
entire
instead
3-minute
of just
trailer.
a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, YouTube.
But anyway, back to this.
I don't.
We can skip this one and come back to it.
No, we shouldn't skip. Let's make a hearty decision. Never mind. I said I don't know. You know what? You know what? I think they both have amazing plot lines, great, story, to and fro from start to finish. But I think I'm going to give it to Tarzan just because it also has that amazing soundtrack. It's not just that it has a soundtrack, it's that it's an amazing soundtrack.
I was about to go with let's give it to Raya.
I disagree. I say Tarzan.
Like, yes, Tarzan has an I'll go Tarzan. Yes. Tarzan's awesome. I thought that you were gonna say Raya, and then I was gonna be like, yeah, okay, Raya. Yeah, Raya. All right. The next one, Sleeping Beauty gets the bye, and Robin Hood gets the bye. The next one, the next matchup is Tangled versus Moana.
Ooh.
So here we got two musical ones. I know which one it is for me.
Yeah, I also kind of know which one it is for me. But when we were talking about soundtracks a few episodes ago, these both kind of came up too, and I feel like you discounted Tangled a lot, and just because in this situation, it's Moana is definitely just overshadowing Tangled because Moana is a fucking masterpiece.
I don't know.
But Tangled is so good.
I didn't
love
like
Tangled.
it as much.
I can't remember who, but somebody told me that they could literally, like an adult, like in their 20s, was just like, I could watch Tangled like every single day. I love it. And
yeah, it wasn't that for me. Like,
I thought it was such like an awesome take on Rapunzel that, I mean, to number one, to think that Disney took forever to make, like, how was Rapunzel not one of the original Disney princesses with the fact that the original Disney princesses were all based off of like mythology, or not well, I guess you could say like princess mythology, or like all those tales and stuff. How is Rapunzel not one of them? How did it take them this long to finally make a Rapunzel movie? And I thought they did amazing with it. I loved it. It was a great take on what was going on. I thought the evil kidnapper mom as a villain was like really cool, especially with the fact that like Rapunzel straight up thought of this woman as her mother and loved her, and then finding out everything that she had done was crazy. The sacrifice that Flynn makes at the end to make sure that she's not trapped forever in the tower with her, and then just seeing like the mom just freaking.
So the thing for me is that Tangled had a good beginning, the way that they take the flower to save Rapunzel's life, and then she takes the child, and then she figures out that by brushing the child's hair, she can keep her
well, it's not just brushing the child, it's touching. You have to be touching the hair, and then Rapunzel has to recite basically like the spell.
But like my
Bring
point
back
is,
what once was mine.
my point is like it has that like very interesting beginning, and then the end when Flynn Rider cuts off her hair, and so to stop this curse or whatever, like those were the two most impactful, and everything in between was like all singing and just super silly and didn't do it. Moana has a good beginning and a good end, and all the stuff in between, the stuff with um Maui.
Yeah.
Maui trying to like, regain his confidence and get his powers back.
I mean,
and all
even
that
during
stuff.
the like my least favorite song, Shiny,
Shiny, yeah.
you get to like hear about how like Maui was like thrown away by like his people and then granted like the ability to be like a demigod. So it's just like, yes, I agree with you. And again, like I said, like Moana against Tangled, yeah, Moana kind of like completely overtakes it in a tidal wave of ferocity. But I just wanted to put out there that I feel like you kind of undermine Tangled, and
I'm sorry.
I feel like Tangled is a great movie, but Moana.
All right. The next one.
I see what's happening. No, I'm just kidding.
Nightmare Before Christmas and Mulan.
Oh no. I was like, before you said Mulan, I was about to just immediately say, like, I don't care what you say. I love The Nightmare Before Christmas so much.
Oh, dude. And I'm like the opposite.
You
like,
don't like The Nightmare
no,
Before
no,
Christmas?
no. Like, I can see it. So,
Yeah.
I'm like, Mulan wins hands down.
Oh, man. Is this?
Mulan is a story about triumph in the face of adversity. She was a woman. She fought. She gains the fucking highest honor of her nation.
Yeah.
Like, it is a story of go fuck yourself. I can do this despite all the limitations that you have put on me. And I'm not even a girl. I mean, I'm not a girl.
Yeah.
Mulan was a girl. But, like, I'm not a girl. And I just, like, I'm like, yeah. Like, that's the thing. And I said this when I was watching Mulan the last time. Like, people being like, oh, Frozen is such a big triumph. The first time that, like, a woman doesn't need a man because this is about two sisters. And I'm like, excuse me? Excuse me?
No, like,
Mulan?
what the argument there is that I think basically...
Mulan doesn't need Shang.
No, yeah. But I mean, Anna and Elsa didn't need Kristoff either.
Yeah, but that's my point.
No,
but the fact that people
think,
were like, "That's the first one," like, fuck you. Mulan was the first one.
I think there was like, and I don't even know because I feel like they tried basically saying that there wasn't too much romance in Frozen, which is why they called it a triumph. But at the same time, I feel like there's even less romance.
Yeah, there wasn't like any romance, not until the very end
in
when
Mulan.
Yeah, like at the very end, Kristoff still fucking tells Anna that he loves her.
There's that amazing part with Mushu where Mulan's just talking to Yang. She's like, "Hey, I hold him and you punch," and then Mushu goes, "Oh, okay, I see what's going on. You like him?
Go to your tent.
Go to your tent." Yeah. So Eddie Murphy, why couldn't you have come back to the other Mulan movie? Moving on. No, yeah. We haven't even talked about the Never for Christmas. Talked about Mulan.
Plus,
Mulan is
got my favorite.
Frozen.
It's got my favorite fucking song of all time.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that Tarzan has zero bad songs,
but I also feel like Nightmare Before Christmas has also so many amazing songs. They got an album of bands recreating their songs. Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco are on that, along with All American Rejects, and I think it was like a heavier metal band did the Oogie Boogie song, and they're all great.
I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard that?
Why the hell haven't you told me about this? No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fall Out Boy does This Is Halloween. Panic at the Disco does What's This? All American Rejects does Jack's Lament. Dude, it's amazing. I love it. But like then, well, you were talking about kind of like what is Night Before Christmas? What kind of story is that? Because it's not. I feel like that one's even less romantic than the ones we talked about. Because like,
yeah.
There's not even really too much of, like, you kind of know that Jack and Sally end up becoming a thing, or at the very least, you know that Sally really cares about Jack. But I wouldn't really say that Jack is very much like romantic during it.
It's kind of like a coming to age movie, kind of, because like Jack is at the top of his game, but he's unhappy.
Yeah,
That's not what he wants for his life.
But then he ends up turning it around and realizing like what his true calling is Halloween, and he shouldn't be trying to mess with it. Because he basically tries to adopt Christmas as his own thing, but gives it a Halloween spin.
Right. Well, I think it's also because the people of Halloween Town are like, we want Halloween, Jack, just because you don't. So they're like, okay, you want to bring this? Because when Jack's telling them the story, they think that it's like horror.
I think it's kind of like
Sandy
about like
Claus
finding your like being
It's like-
lost
yeah,
and
it's
then
like
like
finding
refinding yourself.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie, but yeah, okay. Again, it just kind of like
And
the
Mulan's also trying to find herself.
yes, also true, but also trying to protect her father.
Yes.
But yeah,
Mulan.
Mulan.
All right. So we're on round 2 now.
Round
We'll go
2.
back to the top. I don't know where we're at for time, but
we made it to an hour.
all right. Yeah, we're definitely only going to do the first half of this
Yeah.
bracket. All right. So now we got Peter Pan versus Treasure Planet. And we haven't talked about the ones that just got the bye.
Yo, yeah, and you know what's kind of cool is first of all, again, pirates in both of these.
Captain Hook.
Yeah,
Say you're a codfish. I'm a codfish.
louder. I'm a codfish.
Hook is a codfish. Oh, dude.
I just think of the guy playing the accordion and his Adam's apple just like flapping back and the kids are just
Yeah.
it's
Peter Pan. I mean, Peter Pan is a fucking classic, dude.
Yes.
That story is a classic. I mean, there's been tons of Peter Pan adaptations. Hook is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Isn't that legend also super messed up? The Peter Pan legend? Because wasn't it just like a dude kidnapping children?
I don't know.
No, maybe I'm thinking of the Pied Piper.
Yes.
Maybe.
I mean, there's the thing with Peter Pan about how it's actually about purgatory or something like that. Like he's taking all these unborn or unwanted children. I don't know.
Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
Yeah, like I don't know what people that's what like people's interpretation of. But anyway, Peter Pan is a fucking classic. Yeah, we've got Peter Pan coming to the window of Wendy Moira, Angela Darling, and her two brothers, John and Michael, and taking them all away to Neverland to live with Peter and the Lost Boys and just have adventures. To me, I love that movie because like it's hard for me not to think of Hook because it's like never losing that inner child. And like for us, that's like a big thing because otherwise why the fuck are we talking about Disney when we're almost 30? Like it's all about like not growing up. And
who do you think is older? Like just year wise, like Peter Pan or Captain Hook? Like who made it to
who made it to Neverland?
Who made it to Neverland first? Because I mean, for all you know, Hook's probably like in his late 30s, early 40s, or something like that. But he could have only been in Neverland for like maybe 20 years, while Peter Pan could have been there for like 1,000 years already.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, but like Captain Hook is the representation of like all that's bad in the world and like greed and just like all this stuff that you like as you grow up you start to learn all these things, and that's what like Peter's all about, like innocence and like fun loving adventure and like
yeah, he did, but he's also like that friend that never wants to have like a serious talk, like
yeah,
like hey, what are you gonna do after high school? Like I don't want to talk about that. Like
yeah.
Okay, Peter.
But anyway, obviously, I'm sure everybody knows the story of Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Like he fights Captain Hook. Captain Hook's afraid of the crocodile, which that doesn't really make any sense. Why is there a fucking crocodile in the goddamn ocean or wherever the fuck they're in.
And yeah.
Yeah. And Neverland's little thing.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah. Although there is all that. I don't know. It's weird. Like there is all that like.
Don't think about it too hard and the science behind Neverland.
No, not that. There's all the stuff with the Native Americans, the Red Man, and
yeah.
all that shit's like holy fuck, man.
I love how Disney Plus now gives like a disclaimer.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
before everything,
instead of just not ever showing this again, let's just acknowledge this.
Yeah, like I just letting you guys know, like this is here. We're not gonna pretend like it's not here. But yeah, I don't know. Who do you want to give it to?
Well, I mean, like I said, we talked about Treasure Planet.
Yeah. So.
And now we're talking about Peter Pan. Well, I don't know. Like,
where are you leaning?
It's weird to me. Like Treasure Planet, I think came out in like the early 2000s. So like I was still a kid, but like to me, Peter Pan screams my childhood, and Treasure Planet's like a good movie. But like every time I watch Peter Pan, it's like being 6 years old again.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Also, the sequel to Peter Pan, not good.
Return to Neverland.
Yeah, Return to Neverland, not good.
All right.
The sequel should have been Hook, and that's it.
Yeah. The next one for round 2, The Hunchback and Lion King.
I immediately want to give it to The Hunchback.
Yeah, like I do too. Like The Lion King is also one of those movies that I'm like my childhood. But The Hunchback only probably came out like 3 or 4 years after that, if that. And The Hunchback has like a way better story.
Yeah,
I'm like we didn't even talk about The Hunchback, but like Hunchback has a way better story.
The Hunchback does have a way better story. Like I do like Simba's kind of like the fact that he ran away and then came to terms with like what he needed to do, and no one's ever gonna get over Mufasa's death. Like let's be real. But
well, it's like weird because it's like all he wanted to do was be king. Hence the song "I Just Can't Wait to Be King."
Yeah,
and then. You know, when his father dies and it's like, all right, dude, you wanted to be the king. Well, guess what? Now you are going to be the king. But then Scar's like, this is your fault. And yeah, he's just I'm running away.
And
I don't know, dude. Lion King's got a really good story too.
I prefer.
He runs away from his problems and comes back. Plus that last fight with Scar is.
I'll tell you a little secret. I killed Mufasa.
Dude, yeah. Forget, like, yes, Mufasa's death is super tragic, but that moment is one of the biggest moments in, like, Disney history. Like, fucking Mufasa being like, brother, help me. And you just see, like, the claws come out and just claw him, and he's like, long live the king. Like, yo, chills every time. Like, you're like, oh, my God.
Yeah, but is that as amazing as chills as you get when Quasimodo holds Esmeralda above his head and screams sanctuary?
Yeah, no.
Like,
well, no, one's bad and one's good.
Talk about underdog of underdogs coming up to, and also like, it is such like I don't think.
Well, you can't compare those chills. I get chills because it's bone chilling that Scar. Kills his brother.
You don't get chills when like at the end of the movie when Simba becomes king per se. You're just like, okay, wholesome ending, but you cannot tell me it is the same like heart like feels that you get when Quasi steps out into the light and that little girl comes up and like touches his face and like gives him a hug. Like,
yes,
to me it's The Hunchback.
All right.
And especially because I feel like not enough people give it its due, and it is deserved.
Don't fucking slam on the table.
I'm poking the table.
Plus, Frollo is also probably
Frollo's a better villain than Scar.
Yeah, he's probably one of the worst villains of all time.
Yeah.
Plus that song, Hellfire is amazing.
He's a judge and is supposed to be a good guy and just the biggest piece of shit.
Yeah. All right, the next one, a Goofy movie versus Lilo and Stitch.
A Goofy movie. A Goofy movie all the way.
Yeah, I love a Goofy movie.
It is a classic of classics.
I feel like there's only like I know you're like the Open Road song, but like that's not the one. It's like the first song and the last song.
No,
are,
and
like,
again, you keep forgetting about Max and Goofy's like song where they like
is that when they're
repair
on the
things.
car?
They're on the car, yeah, floating through everything. That car is also amazing. Or that car.
That car-
that
car is amazing.
Remember at the end when Goofy kicks the bumper and then explodes? Yeah, perfect car. No, I gotta give it to it's just a Goofy movie. It's I don't know. You want to know? And
There's no action in it though. Like, you were talking about.
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
like Lilo and Stitch, Lilo and Stitch.
You want to know why it's always been one of my favorites? Because of Dad. Because of the fact that when they do that song and they talk about kind of like everything before the song and then after the song, like literally Max was all of us.
So it's all the conversations we never had with Dad.
And
Is that what you're saying?
No. Max was all of us, and Dad was Goofy. Dad always talked about how close he was with like Grandpa, and how like they had all these memories together, all this cool stuff they did together. Like even when like there's that part where they're stuck in the car because of Bigfoot, and Goofy opens up the soup can with like his teeth.
Yeah.
And Max is like, "Whoa, where'd you learn to do that?" And and then Goofy's just like, "Your granddad taught me." And Max goes, "You guys spent a lot of time together, didn't you?" And that's all Goofy wanted. And that like kind of reminds me of like Dad too. Like, yeah, when we were little, we loved spending time with him, but because of like new technology and cooler stuff to do as we grew up,
or just growing up in general, makes you not want to spend time with your parents.
Yeah, but it still seemed like Dad always made it seem like he always liked hanging out with his dad. And like a Goofy movie resonates with me so much more, not just because it's funny, not just because of the soundtrack, but because of the relationship that Max and Goofy has. A Goofy movie is phenomenal. And I feel like that really, like I guarantee we're not the only ones that had parents that were like, I love spending time with like my parents and you guys don't ever do it anymore. Like a Goofy movie should resonate with so many people. And it's, I don't know. It's a masterpiece to me. Like I love Lilo and Stitch, and we did gas it up a lot, and it is a fantastic movie. But a Goofy movie takes the cake for me.
Okay, moving on from that sentimental bullshit. Big Hero 6 and Aladdin.
Oh God,
Aladdin. It's Aladdin.
Yeah.
It's Aladdin. Like it's not.
I think I could go as far as to say that
it's Robin Williams.
Yeah,
it's Robin fucking
Williams.
I
could go as far as to say that probably my favorite newest Disney movie is probably Big Hero 6, but Aladdin is like one of my all-time favorites. So it's Aladdin. Yeah, you can't beat like Robin Williams as the genie, on top of just everything else that happens.
All right, the next one here is Beauty and the Beast versus Hercules. Which Beauty and the Beast got the bye.
Yeah.
And Aladdin got the bye in the last round.
Like, you know what? It's not really hard for me just because Beauty and the Beast really isn't one of like my favorites. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that one's not one of my favorites either. I love the song Gaston, and like I love the song at the beginning.
And I think they did a fantastic job with the remake.
Yeah.
I think again, I don't understand why they're not just making, a Disney classic into live action, and it's just let it be cool on its own with the fact that you're making a live action remake instead of just like
we're looking at you, Cruella and Maleficent.
Yeah, we're also looking at you, Mulan. It's a good movie, just not one of my favorites. It's definitely Hercules.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast has got the good stuff. Be Our Guest. I mean, Be Our Guest in the remake was fucking amazing. When I saw that in the movie theater, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it's like a movie about like finding your inner beauty and stuff like that and all that. But yeah, Hercules is just cooler, and it's a coming of age story. Yeah. The next one is Tarzan. See, this is why I had the problem, because this is why I had the problem with the way that you chose the buy movies. The next one is Tarzan versus Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty got the buy, and Sleeping Beauty doesn't come close to Tarzan. But I love Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like, talking about really good villains, Maleficent is like one of the ultimate villains.
Okay, but we also use like a randomizer, so don't hate me that Tarzan ended up down there. When we put when we put them in like, you know, the buys got the buys, but then we used a randomizer. It's not my fault Tarzan ended up down there, so don't start.
I mean, but it would have, if it wasn't Tarzan, it would have been Raya.
It could have been a bunch of different movies down there. God. But that's
anyway,
what you're saying about a randomizer. But no, it's Tarzan. Like, you know it's Tarzan. And this is the same thing I told you anyways. Like, you still know, as amazing as certain movies could be.
Now, Peter Pan beat fucking Treasure Planet.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying. All I'm saying is like
Tarzan. The reason that we chose Tarzan over Raya was because of the entirety of the movie, and we decided that Tarzan has the best soundtrack of any Disney movie, period. And Sleeping Beauty has Once Upon a Dream, which is a great song, and Lana Del Rey's version is awesome. The fight with Prince Phil, I just want to talk about it just because I don't just want to be like Tarzan and on to the next one. The fight between Prince Philip and Maleficent at the end, just that entire sequence of him escaping her castle, trying to get through the thorns, the music, the fucking orchestra is so fucking good. And when they imbue his sword to strike true, and Maleficent when Maleficent goes like, and all the powers of hell, and she transforms, like, yo, that shit was scary as a kid. And like, oh man, that fight is awesome. Fucking everything's on fire. Maleficent is probably one of the best villains of Disney, period. So I just wanted to give it its due before we just fucking go Tarzan's better. But Tarzan's better. All right, the next one, and this one got to buy Robin Hood versus Moana. This one's a little bit harder.
Okay.
The Robin Hood story, again, a classic.
Classic tale as old as time.
And I already talked about Tales as Old as Time. It didn't win.
But I was just saying, it's just a saying. But it's also been told a million times over, and this was Disney's unique take on it, as like with animals.
Which is awesome.
Fantastic movie, awesome. It doesn't have as powerful. Like, this is just kind of like.
Yeah, it's
just a Moana.
Moana's like an original, and this is like, hey, this is our take on Robin Hood. Like, yeah,
but again, I just as simply tiny put, especially like with movies really making you feel stuff and giving you those feels, like giving you the chills. Robin Hood doesn't have any chill moments. Like, it is a fantastic movie from start to finish.
No, it's just super fucking funny.
It's just really funny, and like it's Moana.
All right. The last one is Mulan versus The Sword and the Stone, and The Sword and the Stone got the bye.
Merlin! Dude, I don't even know if we're going to finish this bracket in time.
Sword and the Stone. We might. Sword and the Stone has, Merlin. Sword and the Stone is really, really funny. Super funny. And it was one of Dad's favorites. For every high there is a low. Yeah, I mean, for those of you who don't know Sword and the Stone, it's the story of like King Arthur as a child.
That's like a super spoiler though, because you don't find that out till like the very end.
Again, I said we were gonna spoil everything, and also this movie came out like 50 something years ago.
Archimedes.
Merlin, everything? Well, not everything.
Blow me to Bermuda.
Besides, like one of the best lines ever. Gadzooks, black magic of the worst kind.
That's the name of one of our podcast episodes.
Yeah. These just fucking Merlin just cast a spell to have all the dishes wash themselves. And they just come in. Oh God. I've got big news from London.
Big news.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about Mulan. Mulan is amazing. That story is amazing. Yeah, this is another one. Mulan has chills, and Sword in the Stone has. Oh, actually, I don't know. I was gonna say Sword in the Stone has no chills, but when he fucking pulls Excalibur out of that stone in front of everybody, and they all kneel to him, I do get chills. When all of them kneel, and including the two guys that his foster dad and his like foster brother
Kale,
that treat him like
kneel
shit
to your king.
Yeah, like it's ordained by God. The boy is our king. I don't know.
But does it beat Mulan though?
The problem is that like after all that movie and he pulls the sword, I almost kind of wish that Sword in the Stone would have got a sequel.
But again, it's just
like,
it's a story about King Arthur though.
Yeah.
So
and it's like
it ends up being.
Yeah. But it's like you said, that's something that you find out at the end because essentially it's like everybody knows King Arthur and Guinevere and all that, and it's like, but how about King Arthur as a child? And that's what Sword in the Stone was. But then part of you is just kind of like, but I wish the movie would have lasted at least like another 20 minutes to a half hour to give me that what happened. Like it would have been cool. It also would have been cool if he would have started to meet, if he would have ran into one night as a child, like another kid. And the kid is like, I'm Lancelot. And
no, but like, I feel like
cool.
you're I don't know. I feel like you're also immediately talking like just sequel territory. Like I think it ended fine where it was at because it was essentially it was definitely a big reveal to find out that like number one that you don't see the Sword of the Stone till the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
So like I definitely you're just like oh Excalibur and then it's like no it's King Arthur so. But I don't know. Again,
you know what? Now I'm gonna have to go up. And this isn't even a Disney movie, but I'm gonna have to watch this now. Quest for Camelot.
I watched that not that long ago. It's on Netflix. Like every tree stands on its own. Reaching for the sky, stand alone. I love it.
You're gonna go with Mulan.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Mulan.
All right, back up to the top. Peter Pan versus the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
It's the Hunchback.
It's the master.
It's the master. Steppy time. Again, yeah.
All right, it's Goofy movie versus Aladdin.
It's Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin has. Yeah. Oh, also Jafar
yes.
Also one of the best villains too. Honestly, all the really good villains were in the 90s.
Yeah. Disney had some amazing villains.
Yeah. Yeah, like even in the newer ones like Raya, like it ends up like the villains all kind of like I'm still a good guy. Mm-hmm. Also, what happened to Disney killing villains? Like how come in Frozen what's his nuts? He doesn't die, right?
No, he just gets
he gets like arrested.
Yeah,
and
but
like,
or taken back to
like,
he had like what like he said he had
now?
like 7 brothers or something.
Why aren't we killing villains now? Hercules versus Tarzan.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
They're like literally close to parallel. They're both left alone to like not. I mean, they both
not
have
with
parents.
Their people. Well,
it's
yeah,
not with their original parents.
Not with their original parents. Not with their people. Because, well, also in that one though. I mean,
like Tarzan obviously doesn't get reunited with his parents.
Yeah, in Disney Hercules, Zeus is faithful to Hera.
Yeah, which obviously is not true.
Yeah, Hercules is supposed to be a demigod, not a full god, but
yeah, they both have parallel stories there. They're both coming of age stories.
You know what's funny there? In that one, Hercules chooses to stay as a human so he can stay with Meg.
Yeah.
However, in Tarzan, Jane chooses to stay in the jungle instead of taking Tarzan back.
Yeah, because they also lose Kerchak, and it was like Tarzan needs to stay and take care of his people. I want to go with Tarzan. I get way more chills from Tarzan than I do from Hercules. Better soundtrack.
feel like yes, Tarzan wins it, but like personally, I would still say like I would prefer to watch Hercules over Tarzan, but I think as like a whole, Tarzan is probably a better movie.
All right.
Preparation H does feel good.
Moana versus Mulan.
On the whole. Again, super. I would say.
I mean, it's like one's like more supernatural, but they're both how the fuck did this happen? They're both like saving their world.
Yeah.
Moana's saving her people.
Well,
and
but
Mulan
okay,
is saving
but
her
Moana's saving her people. Like she sets out to do that. Like
Mulan sets out to do that too.
no, Mulan sets out to save her dad. She doesn't like have it in her head like I'm gonna become this complete warrior badass and save all of China. That ends up happening, but she only does it to save her dad.
Moana doesn't set out to save
the entire people because their island is basically dying, or like nothing is happening.
She doesn't want to be on the island.
She doesn't want to be on the island in general, but she still leaves to save them though. She doesn't leave
I
to
think
like
Moana
abandon
lives
them.
Moana leaves more selfishly.
No, she doesn't. She has the heart of Tafiti, and she leaves to return it. She does not leave selfishly. She wants to leave, yes, for sure. But like all the coconuts are dying there. The fish aren't swimming anywhere close to the island anymore. Like if she would have stayed on the island.
Maybe I'm misremembering Moana.
Yes, you are.
But I'm pretty sure that she doesn't even know that it's the heart of Tafiti.
Yes, she does. She knows that she has to locate Maui, and Maui has to train her how to sail so she can return the heart of Tafiti. You are completely misremembering Moana.
Because then why Maui just traps her because Maui's selfish?
Yes, Maui is selfish, not Moana. He wants her boat to leave to go find his fish hook, but he doesn't want to face off against Taka or even return the heart of Tafiti because he feels like he did it. He's like, I stole it for you humans and you guys are being ungrateful. But it's like, no, you did this though and you fuck shit up.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, but still, like, she also didn't want to be there. She also didn't feel like she also felt out of place. Mulan also feels out of place because even before her trying to save her dad, they're trying to get her to just get married and get on with her life.
Mulan.
And she's like, this isn't me. Like, I'm not this person or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, they both save their prospective people. They both go on like this grand adventure journey. Like, one of them obviously has more like supernatural like themes to it and stuff, and Mulan not as much, although obviously like Mushu is a fucking dragon. A talking dragon, but again, there really doesn't end up being a villain. There's no villain in Moana.
I mean,
once Moana puts the heart back,
yeah,
it turns back to defeat.
Yeah, but
so again, like we got away
Taka.
from like killing the villains.
Yeah.
In Mulan, there's Shan Yu, and he blows up. Get off the roof! Get off the roof! Get off the roof!
Who are you? Your worst nightmare.
Ah! But yeah, plus we get Eddie Murphy. I mean, yes, we get The Rock. I don't know. I feel like one of us is on one side and the other one is on the other side.
Yeah, we are. And we don't have the time to do this anymore. Though, you know what's funny? I feel like we could leave our audience in suspense and not finish this side of the bracket because just thinking about the Pixar bracket and how probably faster we'll go through it because some of the movies that are Pixar are just sequels and not that great of sequels. I feel like we'll definitely be able to run through it quicker because we are coming on a time crunch right here.
I mean, once we make it through this, we have like two more.
Let me check on the camera while you mull over what you got thinking here.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's just do this real quick. Just making loud noises. This might come down to, okay, will it matter? Will either Moana or Mulan
I couldn't see the battery level.
beat Tarzan?
Well, either what?
Moana or Mulan beat Tarzan, regardless of which one goes through. Actually, Moana might beat Tarzan.
That's like saying you think Moana would beat Mulan. And
that's not true.
That's where I was leaning towards.
That's not true. I wouldn't say I'm torn because I think Mulan is better than Moana, but I think Moana might be better than Tarzan. That's why I said that a 3-way tie can't necessarily go through because I don't think Tarzan beats Mulan.
Well, now we're just making things harder for ourselves. Let's focus on one. I don't know. Like if I think back on it, I'm definitely a huge lover of the movie Mulan. I think Moana gives me like way more chills and like way more feels as a whole as a movie.
Like almost an entire country bows down to Mulan. No one bows down to Moana at the end. And they're both trailblazers. Moana
walks up to a molten lava god like with complete confidence and then like restores the heart of Te Fiti, which basically saves the world.
Moana saves all of China, or Mulan.
You're not wrong. Moana does save China because if the heart of Te Fiti had not been given back, then
that was just like the islands. It's the islands.
The world would have gone
Hawaii
into disarray.
Was going to get destroyed. That was it.
They weren't on. They never said specifically they were on Hawaii.
The guy's name is Maui, motherfucker. It was fucking Hawaii.
No.
They were Pacific Islanders.
That covers a bunch of people though, not just Hawaii.
Yeah, in America, Samoa, and probably like one other island. I don't know. I think that like Moana is able to open the world basically back up so that they will finally start traveling again. But Mulan is able to break down barriers. She's a woman and she does all this stuff. And the emperor is like, you are definitely going to be in my council. And there's like, the guy's like, but sire, there are no openings in your council. And then he's like, you can have his job.
You can have his job.
Like, he's just like, fuck you, dude.
And then
I
like
don't
faints.
need you. Fuck you. I don't need you. I'll take Mulan over you. Fine, Tito. I'm going to give you this one.
I was going to say I was going to give it to you. Either way, we're like
down.
We're
all right. Hunchback versus Aladdin.
The camera's gonna die. There's no way we get through
Hunchback.
This. You just say the Hunchback right off the top.
We can sit and argue about it, but I think. They're both like rags to riches stories, kind of in a way.
Well, it's more of an you're not wrong. I get because I was about to say it's more of an acceptance for Hunchback, but I guess that's also true for Aladdin.
He gets accepted by a princess.
But no, yeah, okay, fine. But again, give it to Hunchback because I don't. Yeah, Aladdin's just super cool and hilarious. I don't have any like super moving moments.
No. The fight against Jafar is pretty badass.
It's bad, but again, it's not like a moving moment though.
But still, Frollo and the wicked shall
fall. Yeah. It's amazing. Hunchback. Shut up. Go on.
Tarzan and Moana. We already said it was going to be Moana.
Yeah.
So now it's Moana versus the Hunchback.
As the finale?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's the Hunchback.
It's the Hunchback. It's the Hunchback.
Yeah, it's the Hunchback.
It's the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's so good. As much as I just talked about how the chills are that she walks up to give the heart of Te Fiti back to like Taka, like it still doesn't top the chills of Quasi with Esmeralda above his head screaming Sanctuary. God,
Yes.
this part is so amazing.
But plus, again, Frollo is one of the best villains ever.
Yes,
and
yes.
that also has like a banger fucking soundtrack, The Hunchback.
Yeah, Moana and Hunchback both have banger soundtracks,
Yes.
so like they compete fine with it. But no, yeah, it's the Hunchback.
All right, so that's
Okay.
it. End of part 1. The Hunchback wins.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BanditoTito93. Please reach out to me, talk to me about anything on the show, anything you'd like to hear, anything you'd like to see. Junior?
You guys can reach out at nerdy.bros.inc on Instagram as well as pops.maniac on Instagram. Reach out to us. Let us know what you guys thought about this first half. Do you guys agree with us, disagree with us? Let us know in the comments. But have a good week, guys.
Yeah, have a good week, guys. Bye.